Hello everybody, welcome back to another All Maverick reaction, where this week we are checking out The Wheel of Time, Episode 4, The Dragon Reborn. Last week we did A Place of Safety, which saw our group, our main group divided into three, all trying to make their way towards the White Tower. Is that where they're heading?
That is the White Tower?
Yeah.
The White Tower. So, yeah, we got to see Moiraine with Lan and Nynaeve. Moiraine being injured still, Nynaeve trying to help her recover. At the end of the episode, they found themselves with another group of the Aes Sedai, the group who we saw hunting men down in the first episode and killing them. There was a guy in a cage. Is he maybe this other person that could be the dragon? Well, we'll have to find out probably in this episode, being as it's called The Dragon Reborn.
Guessing so.
We saw Rand and Matt finding their way to a little kind of frontier town where they started working in a tavern, only to find out that the woman who they befriended in the tavern was actually like a follower of the Dark One.
Yeah.
Hoping to lead them to him to get powers for herself. We also saw Perrin and Egwene traveling across the plains, being hunted by a pack of wolves. Definitely something about these wolves. We don't know what's going on, but definitely something about these wolves.
Don't think hunted is the right phrase.
Well, we don't know, do we? Hunted, followed,
Guided,
maybe. We don't. I mean,
that's my theory.
Yeah. And eventually, they found themselves with a group of travellers, almost like a gypsy group, and maybe they seem too nice. We don't quite know about that one yet, but we were suspicious of them. And that's where we basically ended. Oh, well, actually, we did end with Matt and Rand being led away by
Swinging with knives.
By what?
Singing with knives.
Singing with.
Was it Thom
singing with
Marilyn?
knives? Thom Marilyn.
Just made that up.
I was about to say, what are you on about?
He was a singer and he was good with knives. Yeah.
Thom Marilyn, who he was a singer in the tavern. So we are ready to dive into episode 4.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So this is episode 4, The Dragon. One thing I will say before we start this. Before we do episode 5, we are going to be doing, which we've seen a lot of comments on the video so far. Thank you everyone for your comments. Really, really appreciate them all. As I always say, none of us have read the books, so please no spoilers. But we are going to do a special episode before we go on to episode 5, because lots of people have been leaving comments telling us to check out the X-ray extras, all that kind of stuff, saying there's a lot of good backstory in there. So what we're going to do before we get into episode 5, we are going to do like a one bonus episode where we watch through the 4 X-ray episodes up until now, and from then on we will start watching those as part of the video content we release. So, but after this we'll be doing one special episode where we dive into all of that stuff and see how massively wrong we've been about all of our assumptions so far.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get started with The Dragon Reborn.
Let's go.
Oh shit, what's going on here?
Destroy the gates! His armies everywhere! Come with me, go!
Oh, there's that guy that was in the cage. What a stud.
Oh, he does have powers.
Damn, he got some power.
It is not going well for these guys.
God, look at his shoulder.
Those women. They should be following me, not fighting me.
Is this guy a little bit too up his own ass to be the dragon?
Well, that's the impression I'm getting at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's obviously got power, right? But
He's got a voice in his head as well.
yeah. It's
God, look at that wound.
Oh my god.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
I think I see where this is going. Oh, no.
He'll betray you.
See, I was going to say, like, is he
your
the one?
parents.
Your sister.
And they were talking about, like, the voice of the wind and stuff like that, weren't they? Like, what you can hear it speaking to you and stuff. So is this the voice of some other, like, darker
Oh, he's
power?
healing him.
Nice one. It was all a prank.
prank.
The last dragon broke the world. But I plan to bind it.
Okay, so his intentions are good then. In his head.
In his head, maybe, yeah. He probably eviscerated those last people that we saw,
Yeah.
so let's not say that they necessarily thought he was that great.
Yeah, good intentions, poor execution.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do find myself wondering, like, does he have the power? Is he specifically got the power, or is this power kind of like found its way to him? If you see what I mean, like,
He's just
this
he's enhancing
yeah,
it.
is it kind of like using it? Is this power kind of using him for whatever it wants?
Thank you, Karini.
Is that what colour it is for men? Do guys have like a black magic, whereas the women's is white, maybe?
I don't know.
Because, you know, we saw like the yin and the yang symbol, didn't we? Which
Yeah.
obviously black and white as well.
That's a good thought, that one.
You've held back
Thanks, Thom.
armies.
That's all right, mate.
I heard he conquered half of Gaelden and had the king himself at his back.
So he's been
How
going
did
for a
you get
while
to
then.
him?
Oh, we also found out on some of our comments, finally, that a lot of this is... was it... where was it we saw the
Croatia,
film?
Czech
Croatia,
Republic.
Czech Republic.
And I think someone mentioned
go.
Prague, and I don't know if that was for some of the city scene, I don't know, but...
Yeah. But
Yeah.
thank you for those comments, letting us know
I
where
see a farm
some of
over
these
here.
amazing visuals come from.
Yeah, thanks. Now we know where to book the holiday.
There was one other thing that she said. That the dragon could be one of 5 of us. Me, you, Perrin, Egwene. Who else?
Thom.
Yep. Definitely me.
Having a shoot on.
He looks too old though, doesn't he? Because if they're talking
He
about a
does.
certain age, weren't they? And
Being 20.
Just sitting there.
Oh, he's trying to get
almost
out.
got distracted there.
Keep your eye on the prize, love.
You don't want to kill us. If you did, you draw that bow with your fingertips, not your fist. And if I wanted to kill you, I'd have kept my mouth shut just now.
You can only take one down before the other two get you.
Okay, yeah.
Never did like this thing much. What do you say, love?
Oh, there you go.
Fine.
Plenty of space in the barn. Once the stables are mucked out.
Back to work.
Matt is fed up.
They're just the odd job gang, aren't they?
She chose the blue Aja.
Have you ever been in battle? Picked up a weapon, a sword, bow and
Come on,
arrow,
missus.
an axe. And tell me, has your life been better or worse since you picked up that axe?
Much worse.
God, he's looking like a bit PTSD there.
Another great shot.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. It's amazing. Love to go hiking around there.
I need a break.
No,
Such a lazy toe rag, isn't he?
he is. You left him to cut all the fucking wood yesterday. Oh. Oh, God.
Alright, we'll let him off.
Yeah, fair enough. Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh, that was like the shadow, wasn't it?
You can take Brigitte back for them. She protects me when everyone's asleep.
Oh.
I can't take your doll.
Oh, I've many more. Brigitte's always wanted to see the world.
Have you noticed that Matt is a collector?
Yeah.
Every episode he's gained something. In the first episode he got a knife. The last episode he got that jewel. This
Maybe
episode he's
equals
got a
something
doll.
raised, right?
Like, he seems to always be gaining something.
the same way.
Everyone keeps talking about the song. What is it?
It's nothing.
silly tradition.
Well, your grandparents seemed pretty serious about it.
Where we sacrifice people.
In the last age, our people supposedly knew a song that brought harmony to the world. It was lost in the breaking. But if we can only find it again, people will live in peace and happiness for the rest of their days.
Oh my god, Matt looks
I know,
absolutely
like-
ruined.
See you wankered.
It's all right. I got you. I got you.
Where'd he go?
Where's Matt?
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh fuck, serious?
What the hell?
Grab him. Let's get out of here now.
Oh, it's that knife in it.
The little girl, is it?
You.
Oh no.
Oh.
Get him out of here! Come on!
Fucking hell.
I don't think it's all because of that blade, but I feel like you should probably get rid of it.
It's kind of possessed him though, isn't it? Oh, he's dropped the dog.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
That was crazy.
What the fuck? What's
What
this?
is it? My wards. Looks like his army
Oh.
didn't run home to their mothers after all.
Oh dear, here come... These boys are back.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit. Oh, here come the arrows. Turn around, fling them back.
Oh, that's sick.
Yes,
here
there
we
we go.
Oh,
Let's go.
That's gotta suck. Being killed by your own arrows. Oh, look at that. There we go.
he's literally
Damn.
disintegrating. That's badass.
Yeah, almost might as well not be there.
Is this Moiraine?
Just gonna be Moiraine, yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Go on, Moiraine, fuck him up.
Your power is a trickle. It's a pinprick of candlelight against the raging sun that will be the Dragon Reborn.
So in your face, mate, you ain't got
Yeah.
nothing.
There you go, all three of them now.
Oh,
God,
she's
shit.
done. She got done.
She was nice as well.
She's gonna have some very disappointed warders.
Yeah. Oh, I've never actually seen how it affects them, like when it happens.
Yeah, look. Oh.
Oh, yeah, you can feel
So the guy in the air, look at him go! Oh shit.
Oh, there's one.
Don't be an asshole, you're gonna ruin it.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
definitely the wrong thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Bring it back.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Lan just took it in the throat.
Oh
I think.
shit,
Oh
look
my
at
God,
that.
she's injured again.
Oh no.
I think it'll be fine, Jess.
Really? It don't look good.
Oh my God.
Maybe you won't. You can heal them all. It's fine. It's going to go like, now, let me show you.
No.
Oh, fuck
Oh.
me.
Is she the fifth?
Damn, she's the ultimate wisdom. She healed them.
Oh, look at her.
Hello, fifth member of the crew.
Oh,
Oh, fuck.
Okay, right, well there we go. That was episode 4, The Dragon Reborn. Let's take a moment and then we can chat about this episode. Okay, so that was episode 4, The Dragon Reborn. I've got to say, it feels like every episode I feel like I'm like, a lot happened in that episode. And it feels like even more. I made like almost 5 pages of notes in my notebook.
Love that episode so much.
Yeah, you really enjoyed
it.
How about you, Tom?
yeah, I mean, it's got to be the best one yet, right?
Yeah, I feel like they're getting better as they go.
Yeah.
So before we dive into it, let's just do a real quick recap of the episode. I'm going to keep it
short,
relatively short. So we're still in 3 groups at the moment. We have got. So let's talk about Matt and Rand first of all. So they were off with what's the guy's name? Tom.
Yeah, Thom Mallorin, I think.
Thom Mallorin. So
Yeah.
we found out a little bit there about that. Tom's son Owen had the power. Had some like magic. Had some sort of channeling power. And had eventually killed himself after he'd had the power taken away from him. But really, what was going on with these guys were we found them heading east still, going to stay at a barn. Whilst they were there, they had a number of Matt had some discussions with one of the daughters there. But really what came there was that whilst sleeping, Rand started to have a dream. When they woke up, they found out one of the Fades had appeared at the farm. All of the people at the farm had been killed, and Matt and Rand escaped. But Thom stayed behind fighting the Fade.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened to him. We also saw Perrin and Egwene still travelling across the plains with the travelling group there. Not a lot happening there. We just found out a little bit more about their group, how they don't believe in violence, how members from their group, when they turn 20, go out into the world to experience the world before coming back. And we learned a bit more about their beliefs, how they want to try and drive violence out of the world. We also saw one of the lads there definitely having a bit of a thing for Egwene. Now, the main body of the story took place around Moiraine, Lan, and the rest of the Aes Sedai. They had captured someone called Logain, a guy who believed himself to be the Dragon Reborn, 10 years older than the rest of the group, but with a crazy amount of power. It was taking 2 of the Aes Sedai at any one point to basically contain his power. And we got a little bit more of a look into various aspects, which we'll go into. But what it really came to was at the end, Logain's army turned up to try and free him. Logain escaped from the cage he was in. A fight broke out. One of the channelers from the Aes Sedai was killed. I missed her name, but she seemed to be probably one of the most trustworthy. Was quite seemed very genuine. She got killed while trying to save the rest of the group, and in the end, Logain had his power stripped back out of him. I don't know. Did we actually see if he died or not?
No, I think he just had
weakened and crying. But
yeah, I think he just had his power taken away.
I guess he was maybe gentled, right? Like they said happened to other people. Yeah. But it took a good 7, 8, 9 of the Aes Sedai to take that power. But what we also saw was Nynaeve actually use a huge amount of power to heal. When Logain escaped, he exploded a couple of axes, which stuck chunks of axe into people, and so many people got injured. But Nynaeve's power that erupted out of her healed everybody. And even Logain saw he'd been told that his power was like a match from when compared to the sun to the true dragon, and he saw this power and he started to think that's like the power of the sun coming from her. So yeah, maybe Nynaeve does have that power after all. Yeah, so we said there, a good episode, right? Like a lot going on.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So where do we start? Well, something I wanted to talk about first of all is obviously that we saw kind of like a little bit of a flashback, I guess, Logain when he sort of overran a city. And that was the king, right? You guys said.
Yeah,
I missed that. I just thought it was one of the soldiers, not the king.
No, they were. I took it as the soldiers were protecting him. I'm sure they might have called him king as well, but
I must have missed
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
definitely was
Yeah.
the king.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
and it was interesting that we got to see that he had the voices in his head, right? And they said those voices are linked to the madness, but those voices were almost the voices of the power, right?
Yeah.
And we got to see that. I assume this is the case, that women have their sort of channeling power is white and men's is black, and his was almost taking on the form of a male and female, each speaking into his ears, basically telling him about like almost his failings, how his parents and his sister let him down, how they didn't trust him, and almost like pushing him towards using the powers for evil.
Yes.
The interesting thing was, though, that after injuring the king, he healed the king, and he very much seemed to be of the belief that he wanted to bind the world. He wanted to fix the world. So, though they've captured him, his intentions at that point maybe was going about it the wrong way, but he didn't seem to be fully evil.
Well,
you see what I mean? Like, he obviously maybe was doing things the wrong way, but it felt like he wanted to make the world a better place.
Yeah, just going the wrong way about it.
Yeah, I think he wanted to do it by taking out all the people that also have powers, maybe, so taking out the Aes Sedai and stuff.
Yeah, and obviously we didn't see how they captured him, but we heard that they captured him whilst he was sleeping. Basically, he built this huge army and he was on his way to attack the White Tower. It would seem was what they were saying when they captured him, and now they were shipping him back to the tower to be tried. One thing that I thought that was interesting, which we'd already assumed, but it was good to get some confirmation, was when we saw the Aes Sedai members who were controlling him, they were saying that only a few of them were powerful enough to hold him. And we got to see that Moiraine came in and helped hold him, which really did sort of, I think, tell us about her level of power. Because we've assumed that she is one of the up there with the most powerful, but we never had confirmation for that. But this, to me, felt like it gave us that confirmation that she is one of the, like, sort of the top tier.
There seems to be a few seniors, doesn't it? Like that top tier.
Yeah.
Like decision makers.
Yeah. We also learned that, and something we also had seen quickly, but we got more confirmation on, was that the Liandring, who's one of the red Aes Sedai, she's very much she's been executing people without trial.
Yeah.
Hunting people down, which apparently they should not be doing. They're not above the law, as it was said. They don't get to choose who lives and dies in that regard. But it seems that she maybe doesn't fully do as she should, which actually tied into us learning a little bit more about the different colours of the Aes Sedai.
Mm-hmm.
So I noted down that obviously we know there are 7 colours. I noted down that the green are a group that are supposed to fight the Dark One eventually, kind of like in the last battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sort of the group that are seen to be doing that. The blues, like Moiraine, are spies, and I guess they're out there searching for the dragon. And the red are almost supposed to protect the world against anybody, whether it be male channelers, whether it be other Aes Sedai. They're very much kind of the enforcers, as it were. But as we say, Liandring maybe doesn't quite embody her, their views.
Yeah, I don't know.
Quite entirely.
Maybe she, because you could tell at the end that she knew she'd done a kind of a good thing stopping Logain, but I think when it really comes down to it, she does what she's supposed to do, but maybe she goes.
Yeah, but she does it in her way, right? Like they say, she's not supposed to choose who lives and dies, and they're supposed to take these people back, obviously, to be gentled, and she clearly is. We know she's offing people. Yeah. She wanted to off him. Like, she was like, oh, it's going to be pretty tiring to get all the way back to the tower. Maybe we should just deal with him right now. And they had to go, no, that's not your choice. So, she's quite hot-headed, impulsive. We also, there's a few other little bits of terminology we heard there. We heard the word weaves. They were talking about that the women can't see the males' weaves, which obviously is to do with their power. And I guess it's almost like we saw almost like a weaving over him, right, when they were controlling him. But to me, that now more ties into maybe the why the intro sequence of this show is the way that it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's a tapestry being weaved, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. There's not a lot I've got to say about that, but it's just interesting to see where some of this wording comes in and what it means.
Are we presuming Matt killed the family, or are we thinking the...
Well, I did write that down.
Faye did that.
By something.
But
I think that the Faye did it.
That's
but
what I
initially
took
we
it-
were thinking it was Matt.
That's what I looked at. I thought initially, okay, Matt's killed them all, but then with the Fade there, I thought, well, actually, has the Fade killed them, and he's just been... It's almost like being drawn, because he held his dagger up to the Fade, like he was almost wanting to
fight it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I thought about it afterwards. Also, my initial thought was, oh shit, what's Matt done?
Yeah. I think, and that's what they wanted us to think. But whatever is in him is kind of the shadow or the darkness from that city they were in before.
Yeah.
Because it retracted and extended out of him very much like the way we saw that shadow doing it when they were in the city.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's obviously linked to that dagger, and Matt's looking worse and worse, right? He's got a bit of a Frodo Baggins going on here. Like, the closer he get, the longer he was carrying the ring, the worse he was getting.
It must be so. Yeah, that dagger, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt? I always called you Matt. What do you think, Tom? Were you thinking he killed them? Were you thinking it was the Fade that killed them?
No, I think he definitely killed them, but he wasn't.
You think he killed them?
I don't think he was aware of it. I mean, when the camera came to him, you saw his eyes were almost like rolled to the back of his head, almost like.
Oh, he definitely wasn't aware, whatever. But
Yeah.
I still don't think. I think the thought was supposed to be that we thought it was him that had killed them, but I get a feeling it was the Fade.
Yeah,
that was already in the
that's
house
my way of
that-
thinking on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who knows?
No.
But I don't think we have an answer right now. But it was very. My belief was that the intention was for us to think Matt had did it, and then it was like, no, he didn't do it.
I don't think the Fade would just.
What? They're fucking killing everyone, mate.
I don't think they'd just kill random people like that, especially when
You
Brad
don't- what-
and
You
Tom
mean
were
you
just
mean
there.
not like in the first episode when they sent the Trollocs into that town and murdered like half of the people
Yeah,
there?
but that was the Trollocs that killed him, not the Fays.
He was leading them.
No, I don't think he killed them.
Fair enough. Okay, well, we'll probably have to
Agree
to
to disagree.
on
Yeah, I
that
think
one.
we will on that one.
Yeah. It was interesting to hear a little bit about what they said about people being gentled, obviously.
Yeah.
Tom Marilyn, obviously saying that his son had the power, had power.
Yeah.
And the Aes Sedai gentled him, and then after that, he took his own life. Tom, you played through Dragon Age, right?
No, I haven't actually.
Have you not played Dragon Age? Because that gave me a real. So the video game Dragon Age, there are like mages, mystics in it, and some of them I can't remember what the term they use is, but it's very much like that. Basically, if you've got these magical powers and you use them wrong, they basically kind of lobotomize you a bit
Right.
and make you very like they detach you almost. They remove that bit of your brain that connects you to the magic, and it gave me that kind of feeling. So I wonder if some of the inspiration in Dragon Age came from this, because it instantly gave me that thought process. So
I am intrigued to know where the power goes. Does it just
when they pull it out?
Yeah, does it just disappear and just becomes
back into the world?
Or does it then go and find someone else? I don't quite understand. I'd like to know what happens to it.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, because obviously the amount of power that came out of Logain there at the end was like it seemed like a huge amount of power.
Yeah,
it's carried by the wind.
Back to the Wheel of Time. Yeah, back to the Wheel of Time maybe. So let's talk a little bit about the Travelers with Egwene and Perrin. I say that just because I don't feel like there was a lot to discuss there before we get into the real end of stuff.
I don't have much to talk about on that one, only for the fact that at the beginning of the episode and based on last episode I didn't trust them at all, but I've forgotten the lady's name who was one of the leaders of the tribe. Should we call them a tribe?
Ifer or something like that.
Yeah,
The Travelers.
I think how genuine her kind of story come across and what she wanted to achieve, kind of made me feel. I thought it was just like a real nice kind of speech that she did, and I just thought, okay, actually, I think you're all right.
It was quite a chilled bit of the episode,
yes,
that right? Where we had. So they were called the Tuathahan, is what I think they were called. Yeah, and she was saying, the way of the leaf, no violence. How you know, they fall like the leaves from the tree, and if you die, you become part of the nutrients that feeds the tree and grows more leaves, and it's all part of the wheel of time.
Yeah.
But she was obviously saying that, you know, her daughter was killed by bandits for nothing but for the sport of killing.
Yeah.
And, you know, if she can, in her life, if she can turn 2 people away from violence, then they can turn 2 people, and they can turn 2 people, and so on and so forth. Eventually, maybe you can build a world without violence. And her hope was that eventually, when her daughter returns, that maybe they can have built a world without violence. And like you say, I don't think there wasn't a lot more to that than that. It was just quite a nice moment.
It was nice to have that away from the madness that was happening
everywhere else,
with the Aes Sedai especially.
Yeah, and the other story, obviously, with the guy who was talking to Egwene about how they get to go out, and, you know, when they're 20, they go out and they explore the world, and some of them come back, and he said, you know, sometimes the wind doesn't blow the leaves back towards the tree, so sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a huge amount to cover there, but it was just some nice little. It was a nice trough in the peaks of the madness that kind of were coming in between. Anything you thought of there at all, Tom, or did we kind of hit it?
No, I think it was really interesting. I think there was a lot of stuff that they said that was quite profound, and probably more stuff we'll find out later. Like, it will relate back to them later. Obviously, Egwene was quite trusting of them. I feel like Perrin, after the chat with the main lady, was also going to be a bit more trusting with them. So maybe in the future, like, if they ever do arrive at the White Tower with them, that maybe they'll want to stay with them and get Randa back to come with them.
Well, they said, didn't they, that they were trying to. They also spoke about how they were looking for this song, the song that brings peace and happiness. And they kind of made a comment. I think it was Perrin that made a comment about, have you not already? Feels like you might have already found the song, because they were obviously seemed very happy in their ways. They were dancing, they were celebrating, something that we've not seen really anywhere else. There was one little bit actually that I want to just mention that came before we saw this, and it was. It doesn't really have any bearing, but I thought it was a nice little moment, and it was a little bit with where Rand was talking to Thom Marilyn, and they were talking about when his son was gentled, and it was just a nice little moment where Thom said that there's nothing more dangerous than a man who knows the past. And at that point, we just took it was just a nice bit of cutting where we cut back to Logain in his cage, and obviously we know that he's somebody we saw at the beginning him talking about the past of the world and how they want to change things. So I thought it was just a nice little moment there where really we saw one scene inform the following scene. That you know, this is a dangerous man. He knows the past. He knows what's coming. He's clearly an intelligent guy as well.
Yeah.
Good observation.
Okay, so,
good observation.
Thanks, Jez. We also got to see a little bit more of the warders, right?
Yes.
Not a load there, but we got to see that really they're quite. If you go just by Lan, you'd think they're a bit stick up the arse, very straight-laced and not much more to them, but actually getting to see that bit where they're all sat around the campfire talking, they are actually very much like a brotherhood and like a group of friends, which was nice to see, because again, it feels like Lan is slightly the odd one out, and like I thought those group were going to be super stoic, like, you know, that's what there was to him, but clearly that's just Lan, that's just the way he is.
Yeah, that also might... Sorry, Tom.
No, I was going to say, it sounded like, I can't remember what he said to Lan, but they were talking about how they're always tired, and then one of them made a comment like, you know, I don't know how Lan does it, following Moiraine kind of thing, and it's like, sounds like Moiraine is pretty active. She's always running around, so Lan, like, he never has
She's a doer.
Yeah.
Well, there was also a real, like, sexual undercurrent in everything they were talking about around there. Like, there was the one woman, the one who got killed at the end, who has 3 warders, right, who clearly has a bit of a thing going with these guys. You know, they all go off together. And they spoke about the fact how their bond is closer than husband and wife, closer than, like, parent and child. So there is a bit of a thing there, and we also kind of saw a bit of a, I don't know, maybe it was a little bit of sexual tension between Nynaeve and Lan as well, when they were having some moments. You know, when he was praying and she was talking, she started speaking in the old tongue, which Lan then told her the meaning of the the meaning of the words that she used. We got a little bit of a hint at like her parents being killed and they'd hidden her away, and those were the last words she ever heard her parents say.
Well, I think those couple of moments between her and Lan did bond them quite closely together, which is probably then explains her reaction in the cave when she saw Lan.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point, actually, because up until then, last episode especially, they were very kind of against each other. Like, where actually they kind of really had that moment, didn't they? And they realised that maybe they had a bit of a connection there.
Yeah.
I think just one other thing from that scene when he was doing that ritual and she did that little prayer. I think, I can't remember exactly what he said, but Lan definitely alluded to there being more than one tower. So I think what I got from that is...
Oh, did he? I must have missed that.
I think the White Tower is, for the White Clan of the Aes Sedai. Maybe there's a Blue Tower where Moiraine's from. And then a red, green.
Oh, really? I did. Oh, I must have missed that.
Oh, yeah, I missed that,
I thought they all came from one... I thought they all went to one tower. I must have missed whatever was said there.
Might be wrong, but I feel like he alluded to it. But I can't remember exactly what he said.
Or maybe it's not even... Maybe there's... Oh, hang on. Maybe it's not that. They've got the White Tower, right? They have that kind of the White Tower. Maybe there was a Black Tower, which was where the male channelers were at some point.
Okay.
No, I don't know, because they felt like... Because they definitely mentioned about all the Aes Sedai being at the White Tower and how many Aes Sedai were there. So I don't know. But maybe there's a couple of towers, each for like the... Maybe it's not one per Aes Sedai group. Maybe it's one for the male Aes Sedai and one for the...
Yeah.
Well, if it's white and if it's a white and a black, that points back to the whole yin yang.
Yeah,
thing,
the
doesn't
whole
it?
Black and white, yin and yang,
good and evil, and
So what else have we got? So I want to talk a little bit about the dream, the dream sequence we saw just before everything kicked off with Rand and Mat as well. I don't know if there's a lot to say there, but Rand saw Perrin hitting, like, basically smashing up some bodies. Like, it was almost like a hammer he was hitting him with, wasn't it?
I thought it was his wife he was hitting.
Well, there was a couple of bodies there. One I think was his wife. There was two. And Mat was wandering through the background, right? And then he saw another flash of the Dark One, which is why when he then woke up and found Mat was gone and went off to where the Fade was. So we're getting... Rand seems to be the one who's getting these most of these dreams and seeing things the most out of everybody. He keeps having these dreams of the Dark One, doesn't
he? And everything in his dreams almost seemed to be real, as in, the first one we saw, he choked up a bat, and then when he woke up, there was a bat next to him. In this one, he saw Mat with covered it or had
wandering
blood
away.
On his hands and like.
Yes, he had blood on his hands, didn't he?
Yeah. Said, so.
Yeah, he did have blood on his hand, right? Maybe that does run in line with your thoughts, Tom. That maybe he did, maybe he did kill the kids. I still think it was the Fade, but maybe it was. Right. Let's talk a little bit about the big battle scene at the end.
Yes.
Before
fucking awesome.
That was a bit. Where turning the arrows on them was pretty cool. That was a cool little bit. Those little, like, I love the little explosion. It wasn't just an explosion. It was like through the ground. It popped along and then went poof, and took them out. That was very cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
It's quite nice seeing different powers that the Aes Sedai had.
Yeah.
And no, I really enjoyed that bit. It was
cool.
Yeah.
It was. There's not a lot more to say than that. It was cool.
It was cool.
Use their powers, getting to see some of the warders going and using their fighting skills.
Yeah. You can see also how they get overrun as well, can't you? There was a couple that got hit, but then obviously there were Vice in there. They're being healed at the same time, and there was a lot going on.
Yeah, it wasn't like a piece of piss for them to win that battle. Like, they were getting outnumbered, they were getting taken out, they were going down. But obviously, it all built towards giving Logain that moment that he could escape.
Yes.
When their attention was kind of dragged in different directions, and they would have tied him back down again if it hadn't been for King Harold from Vikings turning up and putting his axes in. Obviously, he saw that Logain had killed his channeler. I keep forgetting. I forgot her name, which drove him kind of mad. He dashed in, tried to hit him with the axes. The axes exploded, took everyone out. Lan got a serious throat slitting. Moiraine got run through again. Everyone got taken out in one way or another. But that gave us this big fire, this big moment where Nynaeve almost was consumed by her power, which erupted from her, healing everybody and kind of leaving Logain pretty shocked to the extent that so that everybody could restrain him again and tear the power out of him.
Well, saying he was shocked, I think I had like 2 minutes there where I just didn't really know what to do.
Yeah, you were like, Lan's dead. Lan's dead.
I thought, right, he's dead. What's going on here? He's gonna be free. And then she come in, and I just thought, okay, Lan's just taking his last breaths here. Everyone else is dying on the floor. I just didn't. Well, I thought, God, this is a bloody bit of a shock ending of an episode. And then I was then shocked again by her healing everyone.
Well, I went, he'll be fine, Jez. And then I instantly thought, well, I don't know that. Like, we're only 4 episodes in. This guy may not be like a long-term character. He might get out to kick the bucket right here. Especially as he bled out more and more and more. I was like, oh, shit, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, I thought Nynaeve was too late to heal him, but obviously not.
Yeah. No, it was... and then, like we say, Logain saw the power from her, and he realised he'd been told, hadn't he? He got told when he had that moment with... He had that moment, didn't he, with Moiraine, where she basically said, tell me why I should believe you're the dragon, and she basically said, no, the voices you're hearing are just madness, and the power you've got is, you think it's massive, but it's nothing compared to the real dragon. And he then realised when he saw this power coming from her, actually that power was greater than anything that he had. It kind of extinguished his power at that point. And then we say they tore the power from him, and he was left on the floor, and we're left thinking, is Nynaeve our other dragon, right? The episode being called The Dragon Reborn.
Well, they kept pointing that there was 5, didn't they? So they kept saying there was a 5th person. But a couple of times when they said there was a 5th person, the camera cut straight to... Logain, is it? Logain, which kind of was always hinting that he could be the other person. That's how I took it anyway, because there was a couple of moments where they mentioned about the dream being a 5th person, and it then went straight to him.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm wondering whether she is the 5th person.
I think that's the whole thing, right? And they even made a comment that they don't even think the Dark One really knows who the Dragon Reborn is. And maybe it is what you guys said last week. One of you guys said last week. Maybe
the collective.
Maybe it is the collective kind of thing. Maybe he has been broken up in a way and reborn into multiple different people.
Well, you got it's alluded to already. If you do think of that, you've got Nynaeve as the healer. You've got. I think Rand had the strength if you looked at when he smashed that door down, and they've all got different. You got the animal whisperer,
as you're convinced.
Perrin the animal whisperer, and then Matt as the whatever he has. We don't know yet, so we think the dagger's doing what's doing to him at the moment, isn't it? That's what I see.
Seems
it as.
Like it.
Yeah.
It seems like whatever's going on with him is related to the dagger. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to finding out what is coming next, and we're catching up now. The next episode is episode 5. Blood Calls Blood is the next episode, so I'm looking forward to that. Before we do go into episode 5, though, as we mentioned at the top of the episode, we are going to do a little special episode where we are going to go back, because all you guys, we love all your comments. As we say, please don't tell us stuff we couldn't know yet. We love seeing your comments and you talking about things that have happened, but please avoid things that at this point we couldn't possibly know. But the thing we keep seeing the most is people saying, you got to check out the X-Ray Extras. They tell you about little bits that the episode has skipped. So before we get into episode 5, we are going to do a one-off little episode where we're going to watch episode 1 through 4's X-Ray materials. We're going to chat a bit about those. We're going to watch them. We're going to break that down. And then from then on, we're going to start covering the X-Ray materials at the same time as we do an episode, so that we've kind of got a more full knowledge. But that was a good episode. I am looking forward to watching episode 5 very soon. Awesome. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please remember, give the video a like. If you're not already following the channel, please subscribe. Leave a comment below. I know I keep reiterating, but please, no spoilers.
Yes, please.
We do read the comments.
We do.
We do read them. So please don't spoil anything down there. And if you want to check out the rest of our stuff, go over to allmaverick.com, our own website, where you can see our videos, our blogs, our podcasts. You can also go to twitch.tv/allmavericklive, where you can see us playing some of our favourite video games. We stream Tuesday night, Thursday night, 9 PM British time. come by, have a bit of a laugh with us. We've also got a Discord server. Links for that are probably down in the description. So why not come over there and chat to us about your favourite shows? Any other shows you think we should check out? Right, guys. Should we head off?
Let's do it, and thank you everyone for watching.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.